favourite ELT book is a book called Business Objectives, which came towards the end of my time teaching business English in France. And up till then there was a very limited choice of materials available, and this both literally and symbolically brought the world of materials into colour. It was the first colour business book, but it was also a book which looked like the kind of airport business life magazine that the students were reading or aspired to read, and above all contained some incredibly original ideas for teaching which we were able to put into practice. And I was lucky enough to then go on to work with the author Vicky Hollett as an editor, and just realised the extent of the creativity involved, but very much rooted in practical teaching experience. I don't go back 25 years myself personally, but I think the person who's had most impact on me for all sorts of reasons has been Michael Swan. And I have been in ELT long enough to have seen the three areas in which he's excelled. Initially, of course, as a grammarian, which is what he's known for, but also the Cambridge English course, which was, again, an incredible revolution in publishing, and ideas from which are still being borrowed now. And then thirdly, as a theoretician and an applied linguist, but always a voice of great common sense, to excel at one of those fields is an incredible achievement, but to excel in all three is a great inspiration. I suppose what I really wish I'd known at the very beginning of my teaching career is that I didn't need to teach in exactly the way that I was trained. And my prep cert was done at the height of the period when the goal of the training was to reduce almost to zero the amount of time a teacher spent speaking. And then I found myself plunged into one-to-one classes, very small groups. The students looked at me expectantly. I obediently kept my mouth closed and realised that I had to actually give a bit more input. I think more generally what I wish I'd known was that all this wonderful technology was on its way. And both as a teacher and as a publisher, I've always been, I think, slightly behind the curve, in that when I was teaching there were no computers, there was no source material available. We had to ask students to bring in documents that they worked on, or again steal magazines and articles from that. Now there's just such an amazing resource available, which I think the impact of which will still be seen in the immediate future as more and more of this technology becomes available.